This is the Whispering Voice. I hope I find you all happy and well. I'd like to start yet again by saying thank you so much to each and every one of you for all your kind comments and private messages you've sent to me over the last month. I'm in great belief that you have helped me so much through this sad time, and I thank you so much for that, because you've always been there. Now we're into November, and it's only 4 weeks until Christmas. And doesn't time fly? We're well into the winter now, but yet it's very mild here in North Wales for the time of year, because around this time last year we had temperatures of -10, -12 degrees, very severe freezing, and a lot of people wouldn't like to see a repeat of that again in a hurry. It's the cats are still fine as I speak to you now. They've just eaten, so we'll have about 20 minutes of washing and preening, and then they will drop to sleep. The cat that I feed, if you remember on my walk, it's by an old chapel, and he or she, I still haven't found out what sex she is, or he, but it's doing fine. And so much so it comes towards me now. It comes to meet me, if you like, a good quarter of a mile, and then we walk together, and then I put the food out, and then his tendency to follow me for a bit and then stops. I say to go back, then he trots back and eats his meal, or her meal, and looking in very good health as well. But I know it's fed by the local farmer as well, his wife, and she's told me that it likes to sleep in the barn with the hay, and so it's protected and warm, which is good, because it does play on my mind that I went out last night quite late, really, for me. I went out about 9:30, and of course it's dark here in the UK now by 5 p.m. So the nights are longer. So I went. It was such a clear night, and you can see so many more stars than normal. And there must be thousands, if not millions, of stars. And of course, where I walk in the woods, or just outside the woods, there's no light pollution. And by that I mean there's no street lights, car lights, or building lights, people's houses. So your eyes adjust and you can see much more. And it was nice. I sat just at the base of an oak tree, and it was cold, but I was well wrapped up, and I just sat there pondering and looking at the stars, and it makes you realise how small, very, very small part of this universe we are, and makes you think of how grateful we should be really for our lives. If you can step out of the bubble of the human race, of the busyness for a bit, and especially if you think to yourself, you may feel fed up, or you may be fed up of the world the way it is, and all the negativity and wars, disasters and things. When you step back and think, well, you know, you've got a home, you've got food, if you've got family that love you, and you know, that goes a long way into being very grateful, in my eyes anyway. And of course, if you see the nature all around you, they're affected as well by the different goings on this earth, but they seem to cope, and they adjust and change to their surroundings. Some animals and species, insects, whatever, take longer than others, but so we're very lucky to be alive, really. So I'm very grateful for that, even though we all suffer losses and sadness. I try to look at the positive side of things. If things go wrong, just think of those things that went right, and that sees you through. And of course, positive thinking for the future. And for me, that's very simple. Lots more walking and camping and cooking and sharing it with you, my friends, all over the world. And you know, that makes, if that doesn't make you want to think positive, well, there's not much hope really. But a lot of people have asked me, how do I live such a simple life, or why am I so happy with, or content with what I've got? Well, the answer really is, I've never from a child wanted things. Some people want the latest gadgets, they want the Ferrari cars, Mercedes, whatever, and they aim for that. There's nothing wrong with that at all. It gives you a goal in life, but I think there has to be a happy medium where you're not, if you don't get what you want, that some people go into depression, or it really affects their lives negatively. And I think that you have to draw a line between, if you don't get something, where you can just say, never mind, maybe next time. So what for me is, I just enjoyed being outside and with my surroundings, with nature, and that's always there. It is always accessible to me. And of course, another thing which my mother was thrilled to bits about was it didn't cost anything. So I want very little. I've got what I want, and anything else is a bonus. So that's how I disappointed or feel down. So, sorry to waffle on. Plans for the future. I've got a few projects I'm going to be filming in the near future, which will involve you, of course. You will see the results. Oh, I don't know if you can hear that dog. There's somebody passing. Probably seen the Thomas the cat in the garden. But incidentally, the black and white cat, which was a stray that lives with me now, is not scared of any dogs, which is either suicidal or very brave. He actually did attack a dog, really. I was a bit, I was shocked, and I had to apologise to the owner. It was only a little terrier, I think it was. Now the terrier was going to go for the cat, but in a split second, Thomas the cat went for him and jumped on his back. Now the dog screamed. The owner just stood there in disbelief. I stood there in disbelief, and it happened. It was over in seconds. And she's told me that after that incident, the dog refuses to pass the back of my home, and she has to cross the pathway onto the other side. So it's a funny thing, really. But I'm glad he's like that, because when it comes to dogs, cats can be viciously attacked sometimes, not always. But then again, cats attack birds. So it's just nature, and it goes down the chain. But we were able to laugh about it, and the dog or the cat, none of them were harmed. So just the dog's pride was upset. So I think that's about it for now. So thanks for listening, and I'll speak to you soon.